Anthropic just handed non-technical founders something dangerous. Not dangerous in the way you're thinking, dangerous to your old workflow, dangerous to the way you've been doing things. They call it Cowork, and what it actually is Claude with hands. Until now, every AI tool operated the same way. You ask, it answers, you copy, you paste, you organize, you execute. You are still the bottleneck. Cowork breaks that pattern completely. You point it at a folder on your computer, you tell it what you want done, and then you watch it work. Writing code, running commands, moving files, creating documents, processing data you've been ignoring for months. No prompting back and forth, no copying and pasting, no manual execution. It just does the work. I tested this thing on my own desktop. File organization, market research, video editing, tasks I've been putting off because they felt like death by 1,000 clicks. And what I'm about to show you is going to shift how you think about what's possible when AI stops being an assistant you talk to and starts being a coworker you delegate to.
Hey, I'm Johnny Nell. I spent years building businesses the old hard way, managing teams, scaling operations, and doing everything manually. Today, everything I built, from automations and no-code infrastructures to fully AI SaaS products, has AI helping in one way or another.
Firstly, let me quickly show you this. In South Africa, we call this...
I build with AI tools that, in my opinion, anyone can learn to use. My mission is simple: to help creators, entrepreneurs, and business owners get clarity with AI. Let's build smarter together and enjoy this video.
Okay, so we can see your Cowork, Claude Code for the rest of your work. I'll also attach these two videos on here, but essentially, when Claude released Claude Code, they expected developers to use it for coding, and they quickly begin using it for almost everything else. So taking that into consideration, this is definitely something that they thought about and how they wanted to create it. Let's look at what they're saying here. Very impressive, right? So how is using Cowork different from a regular conversation? So in Cowork, you give Claude access to a folder of your choosing on your computer. Claude can then read it and create files in that folder. It can, for example, reorganize your downloads by sorting and renaming each file, create new spreadsheets with lists of expenses from your pile of screenshots, or produce first draft of reports from your scattered notes. So in Cowork, Claude completes work like this with much more agency than you'd see in a regular conversation. Once you've set a task, Claude will make a plan and steadily complete it. Very similar to what we just went through, guys. I will attach to this blog of theirs down in the description below. But what I found very awesome was this. So it basically tells it to organize its desktop, then it looks at what's on the desktop, and then it starts. It goes and it does what it needs to do. Very, very awesome. And we are going to put that to the test as well. Just to let you guys know, this is only out for Claude Max users on the Mac OS app. You can either join the waitlist or just update your subscription. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So I said I want you to look at all the files, remove all the duplicates, categorize all the files, put them in folders, put folders in folders, and ensure that the entire desktop is cleaned up and that it all makes sense. And I'll just put in here folder names, dates, etc. I'm going to leave it as is. So basically you just need to go, I'm just going to say desktop on the left. I'm not even going to choose a specific desktop item, and then we run with it. All right, guys, so we're currently seeing it's working and it's looking at basically all the files that's inside of my desktop. Now, if I minimize this all and just show you what all of this looks like. there's multiple different files, multiple different folders, etc. on the desktop. So it would most probably go through all of those, and inside of those are more files. Just to give you some context on that. I'm going to pause it here and then let's see how long it takes. Okay, Claude just told me that this is a significant task. Let it set up a to-do list to explore more of the structure and understand the full scope before starting the reorganization. And when we look here, we can see it updated the to-do list, still running commands and sending the request. Let's see how this goes. So you can see here on the right side, there's a progress bar that's currently analyzing all the files and identifying duplicates, and then it will create an organized folder, then move and categorize the loose files, and then clean up the existing folders, remove duplicates and unnecessary files, and verify final organization. So right now it's been working for at least 5 minutes without asking me to interfere. I'm going to pause the video here and we'll let you know how it progresses. Alright, so it mentioned it's got a good understanding of the desktop. We can see it moves to categorizing and organizing the structure. We can see that it's running. It's got comprehensive understanding of the desktop. It's now organizing it and also then starting to move the files. And yeah, it's going quite well. We are currently on 10 minutes of autonomous agent working. So basically told me that I apologize, but it appears that the shell environment has become unresponsive. So what I thought of doing was creating a new task while this is going. Don't do that, because then this will happen. However, though, when I look at my desktop right now, this is everything organized, which I think looks really good.
Picture what happens when an idea becomes a working app in just a few days. Inside our school community, that's exactly what we teach. How to design, build, and launch AI-powered apps without touching a single line of code. The 5-day AI Builders Challenge walks you from the concept to live prototype with the frameworks, the prompts, and blueprints we use in our own launches. And there's a lot of additional AI value inside of the community as well. You're invited to step inside through the link below and see how simple building with AI can become.
And neat and tidy. This is all previous stuff as well, but also very well categorized. So if we then go back to Claude, we can either say to continue to ensure everything is sorted or leave it. But I want to try something else while we have it. Now we can see what I can do with the file. So you can actually go in and you can choose any of the files that you have and ask it to go do something. So let's do something and say we are looking to do market research on what industries and type of companies with company sizes would benefit out of AI no-code solutions, whether it's AI automation or whether it is AI apps or whether it is apps that could be built as a solution. I want you to research the web and I want you to compile all the findings into a structured document inside of our desktop sorted folder. I want you to rename the folder as research for AI solutions. Let's see what it can come up with here instead of selecting the desktop. But let's see, it looks like it's going into the marketplace and researching the industries. Now what I'm going to do again, I'm going to try to say create a new task. Let's go back there. Okay, so this time around it didn't give me the error. So let's look at what else it can do. Okay, so we can see that there's already a bit of a security component that Claude has built in, and a big component of this was that the problem is that it's much easier to get access to your internal infrastructure on your computer. So that is a risk that you run. Do use it at your own will. So we can see currently it's creating the research doc. I'm curious to see at what level this research was done and what the format looks like. Okay, so it is now done and it tells us exactly what it did. The target analysis, company size, analytics, AI solutions, etc. So let's see. Here's the folder. So what it did here is actually renamed this folder. But here we can see we have the research doc. Yeah, I would have definitely wanted it to do a bit more. This is just level 1 research in my opinion. That's interesting. I wonder if you give it a different agent infrastructure in the prompt, if it will follow that a bit more closely. Let's do another one. I'm considering, let's look at document. Let's go to downloads. And this one that says podcast unedited. I want you to look for the file that says podcast unedited. Go through it, provide me with a transcript, provide me with a summary, and also remove all the clutter from that video. I want you to then create a folder for me on the desktop where all the completed files and newly edited video is stored. Okay, let's see what I can come up with. All right, so it found the file now. Let's see what I can do based on that. Let's select that. Let's remove all the filter width. Let's both silence, clean up background noise. Let's say Word document. This is very impressive. The fact that it can do this will absolutely help a lot. A lot of creators are using platforms like Descript to do all of the editing itself, where here you can get a lot done by allowing the agent, essentially the coworker, to assist with the process. So let's see if this actually works, because that podcast, as you can see, it's 42 minutes. There's a lot of content there. There's also a lot of fluff, a lot of clutter. So let's see if that could be changed in it. So here we can see it starts by extracting the audio to set up the transcripts. Also tells you audio is extracted. Now it needs to install Whisper to transcribe. And now try a different approach. Let's see how far it can go before it breaks and see if it can overcome its own limitations here. All right, it is still running into. So while it's continuing with the errors, some good ideas that one could look for is to utilize Cowork to assist. I mean, we can choose a folder, and let's say there's multiple files in this folder. Let's combine all the files into one main document. You could do something like that. Okay, so it did hit the limitations, but it's now suggesting something else, because I do have Descript and I also have Otter. So let's see if it can actually go in, use those apps, and then do what it needs to do. This is very good, because essentially, if it can use the apps on your computer, what are the limitations then? I mean, what if it can take it to DaVinci Resolve, edit on your behalf, export it for you as well? I mean, that is just crazy. This would be valuable for is also calendar and reminder notifications, to draft your emails or to respond to your emails, do some data analysis on the fly. Absolutely for content repurposing. I'm thinking of taking transcripts, blogs, notes, and having Coworker categorize all of that for me, put it in different formats for us to reuse. What I do appreciate about it is the batch processing task. There's a lot of time being saved by doing that. I also think what this could be good for is perhaps code execution for non-technical tasks. For example, if you have it to build a simple tool for you quickly on the spot, instead of you doing rename files like earlier, delete files, that's very good. I also think there could be a lot of automations that can be built with this, where you don't necessarily need external platforms to help you do that. It seems like you can do a lot of that in here. What would be awesome is if they have a form of schedule button where certain tasks continue to work on schedule, and the fact that it runs with multiple agents and there's a multi-step workflow, it helps significantly with the quality, but also with the speed. And as we can see here now, it's literally using Descript, and it's using all the AI features of Descript. This is insane. You really don't need video editors anymore. Funny enough, this could be something for any industry. This could be for tasks in any industry. Think about it. This is basically replacing a video editor, right? For simple stuff. Copy this. Let's see what it can do there. This is so good. I'm also thinking, especially if you want to do animations, different types of motion graphics, that would be great for it to maybe go and build an app for you. I mean, you can build the app on Claude as well, but with Replit, it could be much easier because the back end, front end, database, everything is sorted. And if it can sign in for you into that, do that on your behalf, or just use the Replit app on your desktop, that would be extremely sufficient. So this has been going on now for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, just to give you an indication. Let's see how long it takes to fully complete this entire edit. So it basically told me that it's done with certain tasks. So you can see here the duration. This doesn't make sense though. 42.9 minutes. What is that? Maybe 1 split second. That's removed. Audio is raw. Noise reduced. Okay. Here it's telling us the differences. And it's basically asking me to upload the audio transcription to either Otter Descript. I wonder, can you not take that audio and then move it to Descript yourself. We have a Descript account. All right, so here we can see it. We're going into Descript, so we can see it's now inside of Descript. Can you believe it? There it goes. It's starting to edit that on my behalf. This is really next level. I'm also thinking where this could be very much valuable. For example, taxes, right? That's an administrative task. I think having the receipts, the invoices, the statements to extract the data, categorize the expenses, create summary reports, do audit, compliance checks. I'm also thinking perhaps something that could work well also would be meeting preps automation. So based on previous meetings, stored in certain folders, pull together briefing documents. I'm also thinking Slack. Most probably will be able to use Slack. It seems like it built an MCP server here as well. I think what could also be awesome would be having asset inventory that can create perhaps content calendar, and it's definitely workflow documentation like SOPs. Currently there, I'm not entirely sure what it's doing, but I'm going to leave it for now to go and run and do its thing. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll share my updates with you guys online and some of the awesome stuff we're about to build.
So you stayed to the end of the video, and that tells me you build things through. Before you move on, tap the like button down below and maybe hit the hype button if you feel the video earned it. Feel free to share what you've been working with down in the description below. When you sense it's time to turn frameworks into living systems, the AI School community is ready for you, and I'll see you on the inside.